Please consult with a qualified financial, tax, accounting, or legal professional before implementing any ideas or strategies discussed here. Content provided is obtained from sources believed to be reliable but cannot be guaranteed as to its accuracy or completeness.
This program is paid for by Retire Ready Financial Group. All opinions or statements expressed on the program are solely those of Retire Ready Financial Group or their guests and do not reflect the views of WPHT or Odyssey. Today's program is pre-recorded.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
Philadelphia police getting a new wardrobe.
Well, that should boost morale.
I like the light blue shirts.
So do I.
You know what always pops into my head with those light blue shirts? From
The Blessed
70s?
Mother?
No,
The Phillies from the 70s.
Daniel Faulkner. That picture that Maureen always had of Daniel Faulkner in his uniform.
The dark blue is a traditional look for most departments.
Is this a commentary to say we're going to get away from the Rizzo era? You know,
Get it all, don't miss any of it.
Yeah.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app. WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios, powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3 Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios, powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Live and local with Kathy Barnette on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. You can't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. Where the brakes at? I give
Yes. Hello, Pennsylvania. How are y'all doing? This is Kathy Barnette. I don't know what's up with my ear, but I'm not really hearing myself so loud. So if you can help me up over there, that'd be great. How are y'all doing this morning? This is the Kathy Barnette Show. You are listening live to me here on WPHT. Hey, listen, I wanted to start off by saying, looky here. Looky here. All of a sudden, I was telling someone yesterday, I am going to have to start coming up with brand new conspiracies because all of my old conspiracies have come to pass now. Everything I said, everything, right? Remember back in 2020 when I said the election was stolen? Yeah, all of a sudden, I look out on social media and people are like, wow, look at that. Yes, the FBI stepping up their investigation over how China interfered with the 2020 elections. Remember, people like me was saying that election, there was a lot of crazy stuff going on in that 2020 election. I started calling it theft by 1,000 cuts. It was like a little bit of everything was going on. And so now the FBI has come out saying that the previous FBI under the Biden administration initially sent out alerts to federal agencies of fraudulent U.S. driver licenses that were coming from China being shipped to the United States. And apparently those IDs, those driver licenses were sent to a lot of foreign and Chinese students. And apparently it was in the tens of thousands of them. How much did, quote unquote, Biden win by? Yeah, tens of thousands. And so so now the FBI is investigating that. Senator Chuck Grassley came out talking about that. I think it was this past Wednesday. So we're going to hear more about that. But also, like I said, I got to come up with new conspiracies because everything I said has been proven true. The Supreme Court is coming out with a lot of decisions. And so they too agree with me that a boy cannot be a girl. Yeah, they just came out and upheld the decision that allows a ban on gender. I know people say gender conforming, gender procedures, but really it's gender mutilation, right? Because you're sterilizing children. But nonetheless, the Supreme Court has come out and upheld the decision that allows states to ban puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and they also said in their opinions that transgender is not a protected status. There is no such thing as transgender that to be protected, like a black person or a woman or something to that degree. Yeah, so I just thought that was very interesting because here at the Kathy Barnette Show, we are rooted in faith, fierce in truth, and unapologetic about what is worth protecting. And I believe that our faith is worth protecting. What do I mean by faith? Not that you're a Baptist or a Catholic or a Hindu. No, that there is such a thing as right and wrong. I believe that that morality matters. I believe that there is such a thing as right and wrong, and it is worth protecting the line between the two. I believe our family is worth protecting. I believe our country is worth protecting. Oh, yes. Do I have somebody out here from Tennessee listening to me on YouTube? But I believe those things. I believe that there are certain things that are worth protecting. And so even when I was being called all kinds of crazy names, I stuck my stick in the ground and I said, I'm not moving. I believe these things are true. I believe these things are worth defending. But what it also shows, I was thinking the other day about Abraham Lincoln. One of his famous quotes is that public opinion is everything. With it, nothing can fail. Without it, nothing can succeed. So public opinion, what the majority of you believe, is everything. And if we have the majority of you agreeing on something, you can't fail. You can only win. But that calls to question who's shaping public opinion. Is it the media? Is it algorithms? Is it the fear of being called homophobic, transphobic, xenophobic? Right? Somebody is shaping public opinion. And if public opinion is everything, I think we should all be very careful and mindful and interested in who is shaping that public opinion, because I'm of the opinion that the media is not informing you. The media is forming you. It's molding you. It's selecting what you see, what you hear, who you fear, what you're allowed to say. Remember, you couldn't say that the election was stolen, that there were people interfering in our vote. Now, I said it, but many of you felt the pressure to not say it. The algorithms are literally shaping your opinion before you even know you have an opinion. So I'm not homophobic for saying boys are not girls. I'm right. I'm not xenophobic for wanting a secure border. I'm right. I'm not anti-science for saying COVID came from a lab in China. I'm right. That's what I'm being proven. I know it's taken like 3 to 4 years. But I already knew I was right. I wasn't waiting for the Supreme Court to tell me a boy cannot be a girl. I knew I was right. And as a result, I would not be quiet. And I am not going to tolerate a boy competing against my daughter and stealing from my daughter. I'm not going to be that parent sitting on the sideline and just biting my nails and whispering, is that a boy? Is that a boy? No, if I got to feel uncomfortable, you going to feel uncomfortable too. I'm running out on that track and I'm stopping the proceedings. I've already made up my mind. No. A man is not going to follow me into the restroom and I just stare at him. No, a man is not going to follow behind my child, my daughter, and I'm just going to sit there biting my nails because I don't want to offend anybody. No, if I got to be uncomfortable, my thought is you're going to feel uncomfortable too. I'm going to make it my business to make you feel just as uncomfortable as I'm feeling. Now, I didn't need the Supreme Court to tell me this. I already knew it. But we have seen that something is forming opinion, public opinion. And if public opinion is everything, I think we should be in the business of making sure that the public is not ignorant and that the public has a backbone to stand up, put a stake in the ground and say, not on my watch. Not on my watch will my 16-year-old daughter be taking a shower next to your 16-year-old boy because you didn't do what you needed to do at your house? Because something has gone wrong in your family. Now my family has to suffer the consequences. That ain't happening on my watch. That ain't happening. I've already made up my mind. I've already informed my husband. I've already told my children, don't be embarrassed. If mommy sees a boy competing with my daughter, I'm running out there and I'm stopping the whole proceedings. But but what does that do for me? Yes, that's going to put me in a very precarious situation. That's why I have often said I feel like I'm being punked. I feel like I'm being set up. Because I don't have it within me, like most of you have had in you, to stand back and watch a man follow your little girl into a bathroom. I don't have that in me. I don't have that in me. I don't know what that takes. I don't know who I have to be to sit back and watch a boy shower next to my daughter. Who are you? Like, who do I have to be comfortable with that? Or to see a boy beat up my daughter with a Stanley Cup and not tear down that whole school. I don't know. I think I'd be like that father who got arrested at the school board. Remember that a couple of years ago? That is the reason why Glenn Youngkin won as governor, because that father was like, this boy that you shuffled from one school to another school pretending to be a girl raped my daughter. And remember when they handcuffed the father and everybody just standing around looking? Yeah, that'd be me. I'm that father. Like, this isn't happening. But now I feel like I'm being set up. I'm being punked. I'm being set up to fail because I don't have it in me. I don't know what you have to have in you to sit back and watch all of this stuff happen and just do nothing. Can somebody call me and tell me what you need? In order, what do I need to have in order to sit back? Call me at 855-839-1210, 855-839-1210. Do I have time, Sean, to play that clip? Yeah, okay. Let me play this really short clip of Ted Cruz. Did y'all see that interview between Ted Cruz and Tucker Carlson? Oh my gosh, it was fierce. Can you play that real quick?
Not simply of myself, but of my many Jewish friends who would have the same questions, which is to what extent, and it's interesting you're trying to derail my questions by calling me an anti-Semite, which you are.
I did not.
Of course you are. And rather than be honorable enough to say it right to my face, you are in a sleazy feline way implying it or just asking questions about the Jews. I'm not asking questions about the Jews. There's nothing to do with Jews or Judaism. It has to do with the foreign government.
Isn't Israel controlling our foreign policy? That's not about the Jews.
You said, I'm asking you.
And by the way, you're the one that just called me, I think, a sleazy feline. So let's be clear.
It's sleazy to imply that I'm an anti-Semite, which you just did.
No, I just said, why is that the only question you're asking? You answer it. Give me another reason. If you're not an anti-Semite, give me another reason why the obsession is Israel.
I love it. I love it. I love that. Now, y'all need to go watch. Tucker Carlson gave a master class on how to hold powerful people feet to the fire, the people who are forming opinions, the people who are shaping opinions, what gets said, what doesn't get said, what gets supported, what doesn't get supported. Tucker Carlson gave a master class demonstration of how we are to interact with these people. Now, I don't care if you're for the United States getting involved in this war. I do care, but in this particular setting, I'm not debating whether we should join Israel in bombing Iran or not. I'm not in this particular setting. I'm not making a judgment one way or the other. What I love about this, what Tucker Carlson showed us, this isn't the best interview ever because they agree. No, what makes it so spectacular is that they did not agree. That is what is so great. And the fact that Tucker Carlson stared him in the eye and called him a sleazy feline for calling him an anti-Semite just because he asked a question. Again, as I said, I'm not homophobic just because I say a boy is not a girl. I'm not xenophobic just because I want a secure border. I'm not anti-science just because I believe COVID came from a lab. And you calling me an ugly name just tells me you stop thinking. You're done thinking now. If the only thing you can do is to try to shut me up by calling me a name versus debating me on why a boy is a girl. I believe a boy is not a girl. You believe a boy is a girl. Okay, let's debate. But if your debate is calling me a name and thinking that's going to shut me up, again, Tucker Carlson gave a perfect illustration. We should not agree. We have to get comfortable living in some tension. You don't have to agree with me. I'm okay with you not agreeing with me, but you're not going to shut me up. I was right. And for all of you who have allowed your children to cut off to sterilize themselves, to cut off their breasts because you didn't want to be called a name, learn from this. Don't feel bad. I know you feel bad, but you're going to have to learn from this, and you're going to have to love your child. And you're going to have to get the proper help that your child, I don't believe in shaming your child, but I do believe you need to go seek out some psychiatric help for your child. That is what we need to do, is find something that we believe is true and then stand for it. Put a stake in the ground, stand for it. I'll be right back. You're listening to the Kathy Barnette Show on the #1 talk radio station. Call me. Talk to me, 855-839-1210, 855-839-1210. Blessings.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-979-3168. 800-979-3168. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-979-3168.
Stop buying gold online. Edelman's Coins is the Philadelphia area's largest buyer and seller of gold and silver bullion. Family owned for 99 years, Edelman's Coins has continued to provide ultra-competitive pricing paired with unparalleled customer service. With transparent buy-sell spreads, you know you will always get a fair deal. When buying or selling bullion or coins, think Edelman's Coins. Call 215-572-6480 or visit edelmanscoins.com.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Send the Phillies stars south to Atlanta for the 2025 All-Star Game. Vote for your Phils 5 times daily at phillies.com/vote. The Angels are flying in for some summer weekend fun to match up against the Phils on Friday, July 18th at 6:45, Saturday, July 19th at 6:05, and Sunday, July 20th at 1:35. Get tickets at phillies.com.
Tune in tonight starting at 7 p.m. for the Bob Pantano Saturday Night Dance Party. Live from Adelphia in Deptford, the Bob Pantano Saturday Night Dance Party is broadcast exclusively on 98.1 HD2 and Bob Pantano Dance Party Radio on the Odyssey app. Powered by Daniels Plumbing in Philadelphia.
Pastor Brad Lacey here, First Baptist Church, Conshohocken. Join us Saturdays for the great message and be blessed. 5 a.m. right here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Feel like everything's clouded by doubt? Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Our psychics are available to talk 24/7, and we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Out here in the middle of these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on Earth. That's how it feels when you're struggling with your mental health. But you don't have to feel alone. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
From North Wales to Willingboro, we know your favorite stations, Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Throw my favorite rap, but they say don't say that, huh? What I'ma turn down for? Feel like Shaq in 9-4, breaking glass in that backboard. I like Kobe and Toronto, huh?
And hello, everyone. We are back. You are listening to the Kathy Barnette Show, and I have a good friend of mine as well as yours. You become very familiar with his voice. It is Mr. Joe Penland. JoeFromTexas.com. You can go to JoeFromTexas.com to find more about what he is doing. Joe, you know, you and I have not always been on the same page when it comes to how we should handle illegals, removing them from our country. Like most MAGA people, individuals, I've been very consistent. I want everybody out of here, right? And then we can start over again. But I want people out. But I think as I'm paying closer attention to the fact that we're not going to be able to cut our way out of this debt. We're going to have to grow our way out of it. The manner in which Trump and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has the method in how we're going to grow, the one that they've signaled to, that we're going to be bringing in tariffs. We're going to be bringing in reshoring manufacturing. Well, if we're doing that, something you've been very consistent about is that we have a shortage of workers, and it's very difficult to incentivize the workers we do have to actually work because the government is paying them essentially to be very comfortable and not working. And so I find myself shifting. You and I started off not so much agreeing on this, seeing eye to eye on this, but I find myself when I look at the hard facts that we're going to have to prioritize how we remove people and bring people into our country.
Well, you're right. We have been on different sides, and we're coming together a little bit on that, and that's fine. It's okay to disagree a little bit, because we pick on one a little bit, and we get a lot out of that. You know, you're not a yes woman, I'm not a yes man. We speak our piece, and that's what I've always loved about you. You let me come on and talk, and you tell me, Joe, I don't agree with you, and that's okay. But that we agree on this, that America's in trouble financially. The only way to get out of trouble financially is to work your way out of it. We've already tried this cut your way out. We need to cut out the waste, the abuse, and the fraud. We need to do that anyway. In good times and bad times, you need to do it anyway. But we've got about 10 million people working in this country today that's been here, like you said earlier, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years. Only thing they did wrong was overstayed their work visa or their student visa. They came here on a work visa. They're supposed to go back in 9 months, and they got to enjoy this country that we have, that we take for granted. They were scared to go back, but they've kept themselves out of trouble for 15 or 20 or 30 years, working at ranches, working at businesses and everything. They don't need to go. They're paying taxes. They're subsidizing Social Security. They're shoring up this economy. We don't need to lose any more workers. We need 10 million more workers, not 10 million less. So we need to make sure who we deport. I proposed an idea to the speaker. I had published an op-ed in Newsmax, and it was about a presidential tariff of $25 a day on immigration labor. That's people that you suspect as an employer that may not have all the proper documentation. We run them through a vetting process that the government already has set up. If they're not criminals, they don't have a problem, no warrant, then that employer can keep that person if they pay a $25 a day tariff to the government. And I've talked to over 200 businesses and ranches that love the idea, and I think the speaker is pretty fond of it too. So I have 2 congressmen today that are willing to take this on and put that into a bill and get it before Congress to see if we can get it passed. Now, what does that mean for America? It means $250 million a day that we would collect every day. That's $78 billion a year. Last year, we took $67 billion out of the Social Security Trust Fund to shore up Social Security for 70 million people. This would more than cover Social Security and have us a surplus. And we wouldn't have to go in and do anything to Social Security. We wouldn't have to amend it, wouldn't have to reform it, just leave it alone and let's put this extra money there. That's a lot of money that would help this country. And we don't have to move your retirement age or move your cap or do anything. We just need to do that. I'm paying a tariff every day to my employees. We call it a stipend. You can call it whatever you want to call it. I have to pay extra every day to get people to come to work above their wages, above their insurance, above taxes, everything that we do for them, 401k and all that. That's not enough.
It's not enough to incentivize.
We have to pay truck drivers additional $100 a day just to get them to show up. So to have people that work, that's been working for me, or other people 15 or 20 years, I get to keep those people for $25, it's a bargain. We need to do that, and we need to capitalize on it, especially before we need to bring more people in this country. If we're going to do what Donald Trump wants us to do, to build $5 or $6 or $7 trillion worth of factories, we're going to need another 10 million people. Let's get this plan going now, so when those people come here, we get $25 a day on them too. Then we got $500 million a day, and that goes to shore up Social Security for legal Americans that's been here all their life.
Look at that.
It's a win-win on all sides.
And do you think corporations will be okay with paying that $25 a day tariff to bring people over to work in their industries?
Everybody I've talked to, here's the deal: I can pay $100 a day for 4 guys, or I can shut down one segment of the factory here that grosses $38,000 a day. You do the math. Do you think I'd pay $100 so I could work this one station that grosses $38,000? Everybody in America would.
Absolutely.
We're all in the same boat. They may not want to admit it, but I tell you what, they will admit it sooner or later. You take their workers away that they've had for 5 or 10 or 15 years, I guarantee you they'll come crawling back and want them people back. And they want them back today. I want the bad people to go. No 2 ways about it. If somebody is white, black, Hispanic, Asian, I want all the bad people to go. It doesn't matter. If you're bad, you need to go. But if you're working hard and you'll help us dig ourselves out of this problem, I welcome your help.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you, sir. And again, I talk to a lot of people. I'm around a lot of people. No one is, you've been very consistent from the beginning of this. And I believe that, it is certainly causing me to turn around and to rethink how we need to be more nuanced in order to grow our way out of this situation. So Mr. Joe Penland, Joe from Texas.com, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate it.
Yes, blessings. Yeah, I wanted you guys to hear that. That was a much longer conversation, but Joe and I just wanted to just jump right into the middle of it. Edward, I hear you out here on YouTube right now. Edward said, no, if you're here illegally, get out. Get out. And Edward, you and I will not disagree on much at all. Mango Much said he agrees with Edward. But listen, here is the reality. And let me just throw this out to you guys, okay? Because I know this is a very touchy subject with MAGA. Yes, I want a secure border. I was out there like nobody's business talking about a secure border. But did we answer this? Did we vote for ICE to raid agriculture fields in California, New York, and Nebraska? Mostly non-criminal illegals. Or did we vote for Trump to deport the roughly 20 million illegals who came into our country over the past 4 years under Biden? Because if I really think about it, if I pause long enough to think about it, I actually voted for Donald Trump to deport the 20 plus million illegals who came into our country over the past 4 years under the Biden administration. I voted for Donald Trump to fine all of the illegals who are raping, murdering, gang members, trafficking, whether drugs or human trafficking, to fine those, not the non-violent field worker who's been here 20, 30 years. Maybe we get to them, maybe we don't. But I know that ICE has a daily deportation target of 3,000 a day. And to meet that, they're going out into the fields, the highways, the byways, and finding people who've been here 20, 30 years, paying taxes, working, no criminal record other than coming into the country illegally. That is a very nuanced conversation. I know many of you may not be at that point to have a nuanced conversation. You just want everybody out. But the reality is that, where is it? I was looking at some of my research I did. Is that we have a low birth rate here in America, 1.6. A replacement rate is 2 and over. We have a workforce shortage expected to exceed 8 million in just 5 years. That threatens about 1 to 2 million of these reshored jobs. And so we have a dropping participation rate. People are not incentivized to work. You just heard Joe, a very successful business owner out in Texas. He has to pay an additional $100 a day. That's on top of the competitive salary, he said. That's on top of a 401k. That's on top of health insurance and every other package that they put, a competitive work package that they put together. In addition to all of that, he has to pay an additional $100 just to incentivize people to get off the couch and to get to work. And so we have jobs that are coming back, according to Donald Trump. I'm so excited about all of these manufacturing jobs. We're going to need people to work it. We do have a workforce shortage of 8 million they're projecting in 5 years. We do have a reduced participation rate. People are not incentivized to get up and go to work. How do we do that? And so anyway, that's that. We're going to come back on the other side of the break. The number to call is 855-839-1210, 855-839-1210. We are talking about a lot of stuff. This is how opinions get formed. Give me a call, 855-839-1210. See you on the other side.
Kale and Company, weekday mornings, 6 till 10.
Should have had a Generac generator expert.
Oh, believe me. And our neighbors have it.
By the name of mtrule.com, by the way.
I know.
Days like today, thank God we have 1210 WPHT because there's a lot of people without power who might not be able to fire up the YouTube, fire up the Odyssey apps. You can always get us at 1210 WPHT, which is nice.
Do we have power outage numbers from the companies? In all seriousness, MT Rule, get yourself a Generac generator.
Start your day with Kale and Company, weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Get ready for
your workouts will
stay tuned for.
Are you tired of?
You can skip a lot of things in life, but not everything. With Citizens, get the advice and tools you need to financially handle all of life's unskippable moments. So you're ready for your best friend's wedding, a broken down car, your kid getting into their dream school, and every expense in between. From making a plan to staying on track, make sense of your money with Citizens. Get started at citizensbank.com/made ready.
When it comes to DSPs, usability matters. Some platforms bury you in complexity. Results-driven advertising shouldn't look like a chemistry experiment. Viant's AI-powered DSP streamlines setup, automates measurement and optimization, and keeps you in control. Less clicking, more strategy. And with proven CTV leadership across premium publishers, Viant works smarter and delivers stronger. Why are you still trading on a desk? Visit Viant.ai to unlock real results today.
Summer's coolest mattress deals are going on now at Ashley's Stars and Stripes sale. This summer, save up to $1,000 on select mattresses. And say goodbye to hot sleep and save up to $500 on the best-selling Tempur-Breeze collection. Plus, feel the freedom to snooze now and pay later with 0% interest until 2030 on in-store purchases made with your Ashley Advantage Synchrony credit card. Better sleep starts at Ashley. Subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Free speech lives here with Rich Zioli weekday afternoons 3 till 7 on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
Can't stop, won't stop. Where the bricks at? I give him that diddy bop. Like take that, take that, take that, take that. I'ma put in work. I'ma do that ASAP.
Guys, back up, guys, back up. I understand. You're pregnant, but I need you to back up. If you're interfering with this arrest, we're going to have to arrest. Back up, guys. Back up, guys.
This is not legal to take someone without a judicial warrant.
Please don't put him in the elevator and then claim you have the warrant.
You don't have a warrant for him.
I will let go when you show me the judicial warrant. Where is it?
Where is the warrant? I have it in my hand here. So show it. Let us see it. So let us see it before you take his warrant.
Excuse me, please stay back, stay back. Take it back, take it back. Step back. Please, step back. Step back, guys, step back.
Step back. You don't have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens. Please stay back. You don't have it. I'm not obstructing. I'm standing right here in the hallway. I have to see the judicial warrant.
Please step back.
For a judicial warrant?
Step back, guys. You can take pictures, but please stay back.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right there. I mean, if you guys are on YouTube, you can watch the video that we're watching right now. You can go to WPHT on YouTube, and you can see this is the comptroller, Brad Lander. He is running for mayor, so he's a mayoral candidate in New York. And you see him in this video interfering with the lawful duty of ICE agents. You see him locking arms with the illegal that they are trying to deport or trying to detain. You see this Democrat who is, this is just performance art to him, theater to him, locking arms with this illegal, and you hear the others in the background. It's just a lot of commotion. And then they arrest this mayoral candidate, the New York comptroller. I mean, he's obviously not a great comptroller. Look at how broke New York is. So he's apparently not good at his job. And you see all of this commotion, and it just defies logic that this is acceptable. This is not acceptable. Lawlessness is not acceptable. You don't just get a swift and a whim and say, I am going to put myself in between law and order, the federal government, and throw myself. No, that's not how this country works. They are making themselves ungovernable. They are making our nation ungovernable. So I am calling this segment Reprobate of the Week, because these people are knowingly dragging the culture into decay. That's what this is. Here's reprobate number 2. the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul. Can you play that?
That are walking out of this courthouse, taken away from their families. They don't have the attention. They don't have the lawyers. And that's why the state of New York is providing $50 million to cover legal services for people who are finding themselves in this situation.
So here we have Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, providing $50 million slush fund to cover legal services for illegals who find themselves being detained. $50 million. Now, she's not writing a personal check from her personal bank account of $50 million. No. See, that's our money. So we, the people, have voted for Donald Trump to detain certain people. I voted for Donald Trump to detain the violent ones, not everybody, but the violent ones first, and we can get to others later. But we, the people, voted for Donald Trump to detain and to remove from our country illegals who have come into our nation and who are violent criminals. We, the taxpayers, pay taxes so that Donald Trump has the resources to hire ICE to go and do what ICE is doing. And then most of what is happening in New York, most of the budget of New York is coming from taxpayers as well. And it's taxpayers' dollars that is going to make up this $50 million slush fund. It's not Kathy Hochul's money that's going to make up this $50 million. So literally, we have taxpayers paying for ICE to do their job, and we have the same taxpayers paying for a slush fund for legal aid for the ones who are being detained. We are literally cutting off our nose despite our face, and we're creating lawlessness. Lawlessness is a strategy for the Democrat Party. It's not a side effect. Lawlessness is the strategy. They are making themselves ungovernable. I always come back to you guys with John Adams. He said, our country is made only for a moral, meaning people who understand there's a difference between right and wrong, and religious people. It is only made for people who understand there is a right and a wrong, and who come together as a majority and say, we will consent to living under certain rules. We will consent that you should not walk into a crowded theater building and scream fire. We consented. We have the freedom to scream fire. But as a governable people, we say, we don't want to create chaos. We don't want to create mayhem. We don't want to create disorder. So we are going to acquiesce our right to be free under the rule of God to scream fire. We're going to consent as a group to say that creates chaos. So we're not going to do it. We're going to acquiesce our rights so that we can be governed properly. What Democrats are doing is that they are intentionally causing us to become a nation that is ungovernable. What happens? Look at most of the world. What happens when people become ungovernable? You don't find peace at the end of that. You find more and more chaos. We got to come down hard on these Democrats who are really just performing art. It's just theater to them. They're not true believers in this. They're just doubling down. They're reprobates. They can't do right even if they want to do right at this point. And so the rest of us who know where this is heading, we got to become intolerant towards these reprobates. We need to come down hard on them. We need to demand that the Attorney General, that Donald Trump and the FBI and the DOJ begin to get hard on these reprobates. That's what I got to say. I'm listening to you guys. Tony out here says, let their love of the state embrace them completely. No, no more love for these people. No more love for these people. Tony also says, interestingly, libertarians often say in resistance to tyranny become ungovernable. No. What happened? Now, we weren't even ungovernable during January 6th. We were law-abiding citizens practicing our First Amendment. One of the 5 rights of the First Amendment is that we have the right not only to free speech, not only to the one of the 5 rights is free speech, obviously, but also that we have the right to come together as people and to allow our issues, our grievances to be heard by our elected officials. Well, how did Democrats and the Biden administration receive that? They didn't come out there with pies and hugs. They came out with the FBI throwing people into prison, fining people, putting up biometrics of people, getting people fired. They came down very hard. And what did that do? That caused all of us, myself included, to rethink some things. We need to give Democrats a reason to rethink how they are behaving right now. Yeah, it's like we need them to rethink. And the only way they're going to rethink is if the DOJ, the FBI, Donald Trump, and the Attorney General begin to come down hard on these elected officials who are just performing art right now. Before I go to break, I want to give a shout out to my amazing nephew, Albie. Hey, Albie. He just sent me a text saying he is listening to his auntie. I love you, Albie. So listen, come back with me. Here's the line, 855-839-1210, 855-839-1210. Let me hear what you got to say.
Add some star-spangled style to your summer with Ashley Stars and Stripes sale going on now. Shop Hot Buys for every room in your home, now just $6.99. Plus, you can save up to $1,000 store-wide. And don't miss upgrading your patio. Save up to 20% on select outdoor furniture. Or feel the freedom to buy now and pay over time with 0% interest until 2030 on in-store purchases made with your Ashley Advantage Synchrony credit card. Only at Ashley. Subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store for details.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief. The best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
See Joe Conklin and the City Rhythm Orchestra at Wildwood High School Friday, July 11th, and the Ocean City Music Pier Saturday, July 12th. For tickets, go to JoeConklin.com. JoeConklin.com!
The success you've had in life matters. The late nights, the extra shifts, the moments you've stood up and said, I've got this. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we value your achievements because we're a school for real life. With UMGC, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer scholarships, affordable tuition, and online and hybrid classes, all with the support you need from your first day to graduation day and beyond. As an accredited state university, we've been transforming lives for over 75 years. Choose from more than 135 undergraduate and graduate degrees and certificates, and get ready to succeed again. Get an affordable online skills-based education to move your career forward. UMGC offers no-cost digital materials in place of textbooks in most courses, low-cost tuition, and over $21 million in scholarship opportunities each aid year. Find out if you qualify at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit where credit is due. Credit for deciding in the middle of rush hour traffic to go back and get their bachelor's and a promotion. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. And credit for serving in the military by day so they can study cybersecurity at night. For over 75 years, we've been helping students receive the credit they deserve. With more than 135 degrees and certificates, students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. At UMGC, you'll find everything, online to hybrid courses, lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
Can't stop, won't stop. With a big set.
All right, guys, this is it. Wow, that hour goes by so quickly. We've talked about a little bit of everything on here. I was just looking at Twitter right now. Islamophobia is trending. Don't allow these people. Now, if you have hate in your heart for a group of people just because they are that group of people, that is not good. But Islamic terrorism is real. Yes. So don't allow people to name call you into silence. You are not crazy. You are not overreacting. You are not woke, according to, now you are awake. You're just not woke. You are now conscious of things that are going on around you, and that is good. You don't want to be asleep at the wheel. You want to be awake. You want to be present. You want to be conscious of the world around you. And now that you are awake to the things that are true, to the things that are right, to the things that are worthy for us to protect, it's time to move. Don't move in anger, but move in purpose, because faith is still necessary. Family still matters. And this country is still worth fighting for. But no one is going to hand it to us. We are going to have to take it and keep it by force. That is what we're going to have to do. I was watching Benjamin Netanyahu. I was watching him. He was doing his round last week on going from one American television station to the other. And I heard him several times call or evoke Moses. And specifically in one of them, he was talking about, he didn't reference Amalekites, but I knew the story, and I knew that this was the story of the Amalekites. Remember when Israel was fighting the Amalekites, and Moses needed others to come alongside him and hold his arm up. And every time he would drop his staff, the Israelites would lose. Every time he would raise the staff, the Israelites would win. But his arms got tired, and he needed friends to come alongside and support him. And I guess that's the reason why Benjamin Netanyahu was evoking that particular passage. But I've studied that passage, and so as he was saying it, I started thinking about the situation the Israelites were in. They had left Egypt, they were in the desert, and it was a dry place, and the people were not having it. And Moses ran to God and said, these people are going to kill me. They are thirsty. They are angry. There is tremendous lack. There is confusion and chaos in the camp. They are going to kill me. I am in fear for my life. And God tells Moses to strike the rock. The water will calm. And then, of course, you have the battle that ensued. So not only was Moses fighting from without with the Amalekites trying to come in and destroy them, but there was also tremendous frustration, irritation, chaos, violence within. So he's not only fighting from without, but he's fighting from within. And I often look to that story when I want to say, okay, how should I order my life? Because America finds herself in this same situation. Not only are we fighting with enemies from without, the world is on fire. Everybody is angry. You have India fighting with Pakistan. The Bangladesh is fighting from internally. You have China eyeing Taiwan. You have Russia over here with Ukraine. You have Israel, now Iran, trying to draw America in. The world is on fire right now, people. So not only do we have great fire and chaos and mayhem on the outside of this country, look at what we're dealing with on the inside. I mean, people are making themselves ungovernable. How should you and I operate in a time like this? We should begin to prioritize what is most important to us. My faith. My relationship with God. I'm a Christian. What is your faith? What do you believe is true? You need to cling to that. And then we need to cling to our family. We need to prioritize our family. We also need to prioritize our own internal clock. How are we thinking? How are we showing up? Begin to get real clear about what is most important to you so that you're not dragged from this warring party to that warring party. Figure out what's most important to you. For me and mine, it is our house. What is important to us around our kitchen table? There are things we care about. There are things we really care about. There are things worth defending, and then there are things really worth defending. Get clear about that. Focus. Now is the time to focus. Focus on your home. Focus on your children. Make sure, don't send your children out into this world rudderless. Make sure your children know who they are. Make sure your children know there is a right and a wrong. And to defend, show them by example how to defend what is right. Okay, guys, that's me. Blessings. Take care of that which is true. Figure it out. Prioritize. Blessing. Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Dom Giordano with big news. Rescue's Natural Supplements is rolling back the clock. And prices. That's right, the supplements you trust at prices you haven't seen in over a decade. Plus, they're offering a massive 33% off on top of already discounted 2010 rollback pricing. That's every product, omega-3